Are you someone bitten by the entrepreneurship bug? Are you someone sitting on the edge and waiting for your moment to take that leap of faith and start your own venture? Then this podcast is for you. Hello, friends. My name is Anil Nair. I'm a freedom lifestyle entrepreneur and coach. And I'm making this podcast especially for those who are working in corporates and planning to switch and start their business, or for those who are in a dilemma whether they should start a business or not. So, this podcast might give you some clarity. With this, I'm going to share 5 tips with you that will help you to ease your journey or ease your transition from being a corporate employee to starting your own business. So here are those 5 tips. The first one is know your why. He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. This was a famous line quoted by Friedrich Nietzsche. Leadership expert Simon Sinek in his book Start with the Why says, it's not enough to know what you want to do and how you want to do. At our essence, we are most motivated by knowing why we do things. And it's through that awareness that we can best connect and stay committed to creating something of our own. The way I understand and have experienced this is when we ask what and how, we are searching for our answers in the outside world. But when we ask why, that's when you dive deep inside you, and that is where our inspiration and motivation to create something of our own comes from. So your why connects you to your core, and it connects you to your emotional reasons for your actions in life. To put a better perspective, I will give an example of Dashrath Manjhi. I'm sure a lot of people might have heard of him. He's better known as the mountain man in India. So he took up a mission of breaking up a rocky mountain using only hammer and chisel. It took him 22 years to break this mountain. Now, can you imagine doing something like this for 22 years without even knowing the outcome of it, and without knowing the challenges that he might face during this mission? Well, he could do this because of his strong why. Manjhi lost his wife, who was trying to climb the mountain to fetch water from the other side of the mountain. Manjhi was in deep love with his wife, and losing her was a big emotional blow to him. Now he wanted to take a revenge from this mountain for his loss, and hence he decided to break it. He took an oath that he will not stop until he breaks that mountain. And he was successful. He could break that mountain, but it took 22 years. But for somebody to stay committed to his goal, his mission for such a long time, it's only the emotion can drive you so much. Because your emotions are more than your logic. I mean, logically, it might sound stupid breaking a mountain, or dedicating your entire life to break a mountain. But he was so much driven by his emotion of losing his wife that he did not care anything else in this world. He just wanted to break that mountain. Now, though it started as a selfish mission or a journey for him, but then when he broke that mountain, ultimately he could serve the entire village with that mission. That was a first step towards uplifting that village. So this is what knowing your why can do. I mean, it will make your goal of running a business to making it a mission. The second tip that I want to give is learn from others' mistakes. Yes, friends, life is too small to make your own mistakes and learn from it. So it's always wise to learn from others' mistakes. And this way you will avoid a lot of emotional heartburns and money burns that you might experience in your journey. One thing you have to, accept is you're bound to make mistake in this journey. That is an unavoidable part of entrepreneurship journey. So don't think that you will not make any mistake. That is the biggest mistake you would do. But every mistake you do will pull you down in your business. So it is always wise to make as less mistake as possible, and one of the best ways to learn from others' mistake. And every business have some common mistakes that everyone does. So at least you can avoid the common mistakes. Yes, there would be some unique mistakes that might happen with you and which will teach you, that will make you a wiser businessman. But the common mistakes that every industry goes through, you can always avoid them, and the best way to avoid them is by reading books, watching videos, or following a few mentors from a specific industry. And if you have any friends who have already walked on that path, you can approach them as well. So I think learning from others' mistake can help you in a big way. The third tip that I want to share might not sound very important to you, but this has helped me stay committed to my journey. And the third tip is know your sacrifices. Now what does that mean is your entrepreneurship journey will be totally different from the way you are living as a corporate employee. When you are working somewhere, when you are employed, you have a fixed monthly income that you can look up to, and based on that you do a certain level of expense as well. But when you start your own business, the first uncertainty you face is the finance. So there's no fixed income, and when you're just a startup, then there's a lot of spending there you are doing instead of earning. So if you are still driven by your old habits of spending, then it's going to be very difficult. That's why I always say that entrepreneurship requires a very different mindset as compared to the employee mindset. So here you will have to find out areas wherein you can make some sacrifices, because you are bound to make sacrifices. So by knowing these sacrifices beforehand will bring less heartburns. For example, when I was working, I would shop carelessly, and we would go to restaurants and movies twice in a week, and so we would spend recklessly when I was employed or when I was working, because we know that this is the fixed amount that is going to come, and you plan your expenses on your entertainment, on your daily budgets and all that you can do with a fixed income as an employee. But as an entrepreneur, it will be difficult. So you'll have to completely switch your lifestyle, and initially you might have to adopt a very minimalistic lifestyle, which might be a little difficult. So if you are aware of this, if you are mindful of this beforehand in your journey, you will be emotionally prepared for all these changes that will happen in your life. So simple might sound very unimportant, but then it is very, very important. I'm a high promoter of the fourth tip that I'm going to share right now, and that is start your business as a side hustle initially. I started my coaching career, I would say, when I was employed, though I was not earning out of it. But the way it started for me is I was running a foundation alongside my job, and running that foundation taught me a lot of things. It helped me build that entrepreneurship mindset, and also I gained a lot of experiences, though I was not making money out of it. I mean, it was not a money making initiative, but of course as a founder and promoter of the foundation, I was running a team of volunteers, and they were all working without any financial expectation. So the biggest learning I got was how to keep your team motivated despite of the fact there's no commercial involved or there's no financial transaction involved in this. So how to keep them motivated on your mission. So it helped me become a better leader, and it helped me know a lot of things about myself. I made a lot of mistakes as well in this journey, which made me more wiser. And today when I'm running my profitable business as a coach, those learnings that I had in these 5 years is helping me a lot in growing my business. So running your business as a side hustle will give you a fair taste of what entrepreneurship looks like, right? So it looks all rosy from the outside, but then when you get into this game, you will realize that you really require a very tough mind to be in this game. So somewhere starting it as a side hustle will prepare you in this journey, and also help you avoid making a lot of mistakes and grow you as a person, which is a very important thing in entrepreneurship. The fifth tip that I want to share is the last tip, but the most important tip, and that is to have a financial cushion. Now, what does that mean is, it means to have a financial backup so that you can manage your EMIs and insurance premiums and any other monthly commitments that you might have taken when you are working for corporate or as an employee. Now, one thing you have to understand here is there's going to be a big shift in your lifestyle, because as an employee you might have you would be getting a fixed salary at the end of the month and you can plan your expenses. But in your entrepreneur journey, especially in the beginning, you might not have a steady cash flow, and it will take your business some time to settle down and for you to start having that regular income from your business. So you will need to manage that time span, and I recommend at least 12 months of financial cushion that will put yourself in an ease. And you have to be in a certain mental easiness to run your business. Otherwise, it hampers your creativity. You need to be a creative person as an entrepreneur. But if you have all these financial burdens, it will shake your confidence, and you might be under constant stress, which is not a great state to be in when you are creating something really great. So having a financial cushion will ease your mind, and you will enjoy your journey more and turn it into one of the best experiences in your life. So I'll give you my example. One of the tough or big decision that I took when I switched to start my entrepreneurial journey was to sell off my second property that we had bought. Another best thing that we did is we also cleared off the EMIs that we were paying for our home that we were living in. So that way we got we got free from all the financial commitment, and that thing made my journey very easy. So when I started my entrepreneurial journey, I actually had no financial commitments on me, and it has made my journey easy, and I could really focus on my business without any financial burden. So those were the 5 tips to help you make your transition from a corporate employee to starting your own business easy and less risky. So that's it for now. I will come back with my another podcast very soon, and till then you have a great time.